Welcome back to my YouTube channel. What if I told you that a simple penny sitting in your drawer right now could be quietly holding a value of $587,000, and you wouldn't even know it? Not a gold bar, not a rare painting, just a 2009 Lincoln 1-cent log cabin penny with no mint mark. Sounds unbelievable, right? But here's the uncomfortable truth. While most people ignore their spare change, a small group of smart collectors are turning these overlooked coins into life-changing wealth. And the gap between those two groups is knowledge. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Not glanced, not tossed aside, but truly examined them. Because the difference between a worthless coin and a six-figure payday often comes down to a tiny detail most people miss. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might never look at a penny the same way again. And yes, I'm serious. The 2009 Lincoln log cabin penny wasn't just any coin. It was part of a special release celebrating the early life of Abraham Lincoln. Millions were minted, but only a handful carry the rare characteristics that collectors are desperately searching for today. Now here's where it gets interesting. The version with no mint mark, meaning it wasn't stamped with a D or S, was produced in Philadelphia. On its own, that's not rare. But when you combine that with specific minting errors, you unlock a completely different level of value. We're talking about errors like double die impressions, off-center strikes, and subtle design distortions that most people would completely overlook. And here's the twist. These mistakes are exactly what make the coin valuable. Funny, isn't it? In everyday life, mistakes cost you money. But in the world of rare coins, mistakes can make you rich. Now imagine this scenario. You're cleaning out an old jar of coins. You almost throw them into a coin counting machine, but something stops you. You take a closer look, and there it is. A 2009 log cabin penny. No mint mark, a slight doubling in the lettering, a barely noticeable shift in the design. To most people, it's nothing. To the right buyer, it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the kind of moment that changes everything. And here's what most people don't realize. Collectors are actively hunting for these coins right now. The demand is not just real, it's growing. Because serious buyers understand something the average person doesn't. These coins are disappearing. Every year, more are lost, damaged, or spent unknowingly. Which means the surviving high-quality error coins become even more valuable. Scarcity creates urgency, and urgency creates opportunity. But let's pause for a second. If this is true, why isn't everyone rich from pennies? Simple. Because most people don't know what to look for, or worse, they assume it's not worth their time. That assumption could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Think about it. People will spend hours scrolling on their phones, but won't spend 5 minutes checking the coins in their own house. That's like ignoring a winning lottery ticket because it looks too small. Doesn't make sense, but it happens every day. Now let's talk about condition. Because not every 2009 log cabin penny is worth $587,000. The highest values are reserved for coins in exceptional condition, what collectors call mint state. No scratches, no heavy wear, clean, sharp details. And if you combine that condition with a rare mint error, that's where things get serious. This is where auctions turn competitive. This is where collectors start bidding emotionally, not logically. And this is where ordinary people become unexpectedly wealthy. But here's the critical part. Timing matters. The coin market moves based on demand, trends, and collector interest. Right now, Lincoln bicentennial coins, especially error varieties, are in high demand, which means if you're holding one of these coins, you're not just holding money. You're holding leverage. And leverage, when used correctly, creates life-changing outcomes. So here's the question. What are you going to do after this video ends? Are you going to ignore this like most people do? Or are you going to take a few minutes and check your coins? Because the opportunity is real, the market is active, and the buyers are ready. All that's missing is awareness. You don't need to be a professional collector. You don't need years of experience. You just need curiosity, attention to detail, and the willingness to take action. Because hidden wealth doesn't announce itself, it waits quietly in places most people never think to look, and sometimes it looks exactly like a penny. So tonight, before you do anything else, check your change. Because that small, overlooked coin could be the beginning of something much bigger. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now the question is, will you be the one who finds it or the one who spends it? The choice is yours. Imagine this, a single penny, sitting quietly in your pocket, your drawer, or maybe lost between couch cushions, could be worth $765,000. Yes, a coin most people ignore every single day could quietly be your ticket to a completely different financial life. Now here's the real question. What if you already have it and don't even know it? This is the story of the 2021 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny, a modern coin that shocked collectors, sparked intense demand, and quietly turned ordinary people into unexpected winners. But here's the twist. Not every 2021 D penny is valuable. Only a rare few, those with specific errors, have crossed into life-changing territory. And today you're going to learn exactly what to look for before someone else finds it first. Because in this market, hesitation doesn't cost you cents. It costs you thousands. Let's begin. At first glance, the 2021 D. Lincoln penny looks completely ordinary. Clean design, familiar portrait, nothing that screams rare treasure. It's the kind of coin you'd hand over without thinking twice at a gas station. But here's where things get interesting. In the fast-paced environment of modern minting, even highly advanced systems can slip. And when they do, they create something incredibly powerful, mistakes that collectors are willing to pay a premium for. Now imagine this, a small misalignment during the minting process, a subtle doubling in the lettering, or an off-center strike that shifts the entire design just enough to stand out. To the average person, it's a flaw, but to a collector, it's opportunity. And in some rare cases, it's a goldmine hiding in copper disguise. One of the most talked about variations of the 2021 D penny involves striking errors, where the coin isn't perfectly aligned during production. This creates a dramatic visual shift, making the coin instantly recognizable to trained eyes. Pair that with high-grade preservation and suddenly, that worthless penny becomes a highly desirable collectible. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked closely at your coins? Not just glanced, but really inspected them, because most people don't. And that's exactly why opportunities like this still exist. There are people out there who unknowingly spend rare coins every single day. They trade them for coffee, groceries, or parking meters, never realizing they just gave away something that could have changed their financial situation. It sounds unbelievable, but it happens more often than you think. And that brings us to the turning point. The collector's market isn't just active, it's competitive. Demand for rare error coins, especially modern ones like the 2021 D, has been rising steadily. Why? Because they're harder to find than older coins. Fewer people expect them to be valuable, which means fewer people save them. That scarcity drives demand, and demand drives price. Now here's where urgency kicks in. The value of a coin like this doesn't stay hidden forever. Once collectors identify and confirm rare variations, word spreads, prices climb, competition increases, and suddenly the window of easy discovery begins to close. So the real advantage belongs to those who act early. Think about it. Right now, somewhere out there, someone is casually flipping through their spare change, completely unaware they're holding something extraordinary. Why shouldn't that someone be you? And before you think, this is probably too rare for me to find, let's pause for a second. Because here's a reality check with a twist of humor. People have found valuable coins in parking lots, vending machines, and even in their kids' piggy banks. One person reportedly discovered a rare coin while cleaning out an old jacket pocket. Imagine that, a fortune hiding next to a forgotten receipt. So no, it's not impossible. In fact, it's closer than you think. Now let's connect the dots. You have access to coins every single day. Whether it's change from a purchase, coins lying around your home, or even rolls from the bank, opportunities are constantly passing through your hands. But opportunity without awareness is just missed potential. That's why understanding what to look for is everything. When examining a 2021 D. Lincoln penny, pay close attention to unusual features. Look for doubling in the text, especially around the date and lettering. Check for off-center strikes where the design isn't perfectly aligned. Notice any irregularities in the surface or edges that don't match standard coins. These are not flaws. They are signals that this coin might be something more. And if you happen to find one in excellent condition, clean, sharp, and well-preserved, That's when things get truly exciting. Because condition multiplies value. A rare error coin in poor condition might be interesting. But in near-perfect condition, that's where collectors start paying serious money. We're talking about auctions, bidding wars, and prices that can reach hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, from a penny. Now take a moment and imagine this scenario. You discover one of these rare coins. You verify it. You list it. And suddenly, collectors from across the country are competing to own something you found in your everyday life. That's not just a financial gain. It's a transformation. And it all starts with awareness and action. Because here's the truth most people don't realize. Wealth doesn't always come from something big, complex, or out of reach. Sometimes, it comes from recognizing the hidden value in things others overlook. The 2021 Lincoln Penny is a perfect example of that principle. Simple, common, easy to ignore, but under the right circumstances, incredibly powerful. So the next time you receive change, don't just toss it aside. Pause. Look closer, because that small, ordinary coin might be carrying an extraordinary secret. And if you're the one who finds it, everything could change. Now the only question left is, will you check your coins today? Or will you let someone else discover what could have been yours?